Welcome to another episode of Across the Sports World. I'm Dominic Clary. We have another NFL episode here for you. That'll be the trend every week. We'll have an NFL video talking about last week. And then, we'll just keep talking about the week before. Eventually, we'll get into some more stuff later on. But that's what we'll focus on for now. We'll have some soccer stuff as you'll talk about Premier League. MLS, USL, they're starting their offseason. We'll mainly talk about the Riverhounds. I don't know much about anyone else. Might stay away from that a little bit, but MLS, we'll talk about Messi a lot. I know Nashville's an exciting team. We'll talk about F1 here, but today it's mainly the NFL, and we're going to stick on that note. We're talking about the game that really started it all. It was the Thursday night game against the Lions and the Chiefs, 21-20. The Chiefs may have welcomed a new championship as they started the season off at home, but they started off with a bad loss. You don't have your best pass rusher, your tight end's out, and you lose to the Lions. And the Lions did everything they had to do to win. The Chiefs, it felt like they were trying to lose. Tony really felt like he was trying to lose. 4 drops. One was for a pick 6. He had 1 rush for -1 yards and 1 catch for 1 yard. Not the game I don't think Tony wanted. It's the game he had. If he doesn't play as bad as he does, the Chiefs win the football game. It's as simple as that. But credit to the Lions. That offensive line was dominant. That's going to be their MO. They're going to play tough defense. They're going to run the ball down your throat. Goff is going to make plays when his name's called upon. And that's what you're going to get from Detroit. I'm excited to see what they have going forward through the season. But right now, I think that the Lions, they can win the NFC North. I don't see there's any reason. I think the Packers might be a little bit better than we thought, and we'll talk about that. Love looked good, or better than we thought at least. This Lions team has a chance of not just going to the playoffs, but winning their division. And they proved that, beating the reigning Super Bowl champions. The Falcons, they beat the Panthers 24-10. Bijan and Ritter, I think, can be a duo here for the future. I'm not super high on Ritter. I just think he's worse than Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett's better, though he didn't play like it. Again, another game we'll talk about. The biggest disappointment is the Steelers after all the talk that we got about how good they were in camp, supposedly, and how good Kenny Pickett was. Ritter, he's a game manager. He's going to win you games from time to time when you need him to. You just got to build around him, make sure he has a lot of talent. He seems like he's missing some wide receivers that are wide open and going with the first read. But I think he'll be all right. With Young with the Panthers, 10 points isn't enough. He's a rookie. It's his first game. He'll figure it out. We'll judge him a little bit more heavily as we go through this season, but I'm not going to judge a rookie off his first game. Was it like Dan Marino's first pass was an interception, or Peyton Manning, whoever it was? So you can't judge someone off their first game. What you can judge is the Bengals. Despite the weather, they stunk. The weather was horrible, and so were the Bengals. The Browns took advantage. And Cleveland Browns Stadium used to be First Energy, now Cleveland Browns Stadium. Since he looked bad, Burrow had a horrible day after his big contract. You can't look that bad after getting all that money. I don't care how bad the weather is. I don't care if the ball's slipping out of your hand. You can't be that bad. Burrow was that bad. Just can't do it. This is a team that's supposed to win the AFC North. Right now, the Browns are ahead. The Bengals are in the bottom with the Steelers right now, and the Browns have a chance of really taking advantage of this AFC North. If they can get a 2-0 advantage in the AFC North here in the first 2 games, they play the Steelers next week. A Steelers team that doesn't look very good. This Brown team looks a lot better. I think TJ Watt has had a better game than Myles Garrett did, despite the result. And I think Myles Garrett will take his 1 sack over the 3 sacks that Watt had and take the win with it. And I think any player would. Because right now, Myles Garrett, he's trying to get a push here and prove that he's a leader. Because right now, a lot of people, including me, didn't think he was much of a leader last year. He's looking to prove otherwise. With this win here, I think he did, and I think they need more from Watson. But they just got enough. 24-3, that's what you need to win. That's what you need to win. If 24 points is going to get you, a win over a top division rival. That's all you need, and that's all Watson gave you. Now you need a little bit more going forward. But right now, 24 points, that beats the Bengals. Defense did their job. Burrow didn't. That's all you need from the Browns. Jags 31, Colts 21. This Colts team's a mess. I mean, they show it when Taylor's the biggest focus, and he's not going to play for the Colts unless they trade him. 21 points. I mean, yeah, they put 21 points on the board, but they gave up 31. The Jags did what it was expected. Richardson needs to protect himself a little bit more, I will say. Want to see what he becomes, and I can't see that if he is lowering his shoulder and eventually getting hurt. We don't want him to get hurt. We want that young man to keep playing. I will say I love that wing T set they run, where they have a guy in the pistol and they have the two wing backs on the sides, and oh God, they put him in motion and he blocks ahead. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful football. I hope San Francisco starts running that eventually. They don't have a guy to do that right now, but boy, that's some exciting football running the wing T like that. Out of a pistol formation instead of a under center with a fullback. They have a halfback back there. It's beautiful football. I'd like to see what they keep doing on with that. The Bucks and the Vikings. This is the really embarrassing first game for the Vikings. Losing to the Bucks, first of all, can't happen. You're supposed to be one of the best teams in the North. You weren't, not by a long shot that day. And the Bucks, I mean, at Baker Mayfield, they put 20 points. You can't just put 17 points and think that you can win like that. You have Jefferson, you have Addison, you have assets to score. You have Madison in the backfield. Kirk Cousins needs to put up more points. Again, defense, you only give up 20. It is what it is, but the Vikings, you need to do more. There's not much I can say on them other than they need to do better next week. Or, the house of cards start crashing down on the Vikings really quick after some people thought was a fluke season last year. They had every right to believe that after the performance they put in the playoffs. They need to do better, but good for you, Baker Mayfield. Keep on chugging along, keep on winning, keep on proving everybody wrong. And a lot of people in Cleveland, there might be a discourse here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If Baker Mayfield keeps winning games with a lesser Bucks team than the Browns have, I'm saying there might be discourse of, hey, Baker Mayfield might not be the better quarterback, but we're spending all this money for something Baker can do. And I think that might be the case, but we'll find out in the matter of weeks. Saints, Titans, 16-15. Both these teams stink. Though shout out to Anthony Kendall for the Tennessee Titans. He's putting in work, got a few tackles there, a lot of work on special teams. Really excited to see that. The Baldwin Wallace alum putting in work. But the Saints stink, the Titans stink. I actually have no notes on this game. These teams stink. Good one for the Saints. Get things going in a bad division, and you had a bad opponent. Way to take advantage of that. Just got to keep chugging along, keep figuring it out. We'll see what they do going forward. I tell you what, San Francisco, they proved once again that, hey, you might think we have quarterback issues, but in reality, we don't. We are the best team in the NFL. And they proved that against maybe a less than mediocre Steeler team. The Steeler team's supposed to be good. They were embarrassing. Pickett looked horrible. The offensive line looked embarrassing. Najee looked bad. Wide receivers weren't getting open. TJ Watt was good. Other than that, the defensive line stunk. The linebackers stunk, and the safety stunk. Patrick Peterson stunk. There was not one point about the Steelers that I felt good about. I do live in Cleveland. I'm a Steeler fan. They stink. That's all I have to say about the Steelers. Not a very good football team. They need to have a win against the Browns, or else things are going to fall apart quickly. And the direction they thought they were going will end up crashing down upon them fairly quickly. The Washington Commanders beat the Cardinals. Washington avoids an embarrassing loss. The Cardinals are bad. Yeah, the 2016 win for the Commanders. There's not much for you to really say here other than the Cardinals stink, and I think they're meaning to stink. I mean, Josh Dobbs is their quarterback. He shouldn't be starting. He's a backup. He's a guy that comes in if you need him to. He should be your first choice. I feel bad for him because he's put in a position to fail. And, I hope he succeeds. I hope he looks good while doing it, but there's no chance that he can get a winning record with how bad this team looks and how bad that defense is. Jeez. Ravens 25, Texans 9. Lamar looks not as comfortable. The Texans are just really bad. 9 points for CJ Stroud in his Texans squad. Again, this team, I think the Texans, are going to put up a lot of fight. It's just they're still not ready yet, and it's going to be a few years till they are. The Ravens, on the other hand, maybe they're a little bit better than I thought. I thought they'd be the worst team in the AFC North. It might be the Steelers. I guess we're going to find out there, but good win for them. Like to see OBJ used a little bit more, but I think that'll be in the plan here in the future. Packers beat the Bears 38-20. Love. Love could end up being the guy that we didn't think he was. Yeah, that's really it. 38 points. I mean, that run game's really good with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. The wide receiver room, I don't think it was very good, but if 38 points, I know the running game did a lot, but boy, I'm excited to see what happens with that, huh? Let's see if the Packers can compete for the North despite losing their man Aaron Rodgers, and we'll talk about him, but not the way you thought that we'd be talking about him going into the season in his first game. Raiders and Broncos. The Raiders win 17-16. The Broncos with Peyton, they aren't dangerous. Russell Wilson lost it. Russell Wilson didn't lose game 17-16. Russ found out because he was dangerous. Not dangerous no more. Broncos stink. I still think they're recovering with Jerry Jeudy being injured. I still think they're figuring it out with their defense only gave up 17 points. The run game they need to figure out. They have a running back they believe in. Kind of been silent for a year or two. Yeah, I mean, good win for the Raiders and Garoppolo, though Garoppolo looks weird in silver and black. You think of a raggedy quarterback, tough, gritty, a guy that smokes cigarettes on the sideline. That's the type of guy that doesn't eat vegetables. That's the type of guy that I see playing quarterback for the Raiders. Not one of the most handsome quarterbacks in the league in Garoppolo. It's just that jawline just doesn't look right in the silver and black Raider helmet. The Eagles and Pats. Eagles won 25 and beat the Pats by 20. So let me re-say that. Eagles won 25 to 20 against the Patriots. Eagles didn't look super impressive. They struggled with a lot of growing pains. Again, that can be contributed to them not playing a lot and the not practicing a lot as well. They'll figure it out. Jalen Hurts is too good for them not to be really good this year. The Pats look a little bit better than I think everyone gave them credit for. They could end up competing now that Josh Allen looks bad and Aaron Rodgers is out. And who knows what to expect from the Dolphins? If you listen to the Dan Le Batard show, they're going to the Super Bowl, but who knows with that team. Rams beat Seattle 30-13. Rams surprised Seattle, bounce back season for LA. Matthew Stafford trying to finally figuring out how to communicate with his teammates. Huh? Oh, we might have an exciting season for the Rams again. I don't know if they're going for broke with all the trades again, but it's pretty exciting to see them back in. And I wanted to see more from Seattle, but hey, we get the Rams back. Aaron Donald making Geno Smith cry for help when he's running at him. And our second to last game here, Dallas destroys the Giants 40-0. The Giants, everything that can go wrong in a football game went wrong against the New York Football Giants. There's not one thing I think that went right for the Giants in this game. Not a single one. Only team to not score a single point. I don't think score a touchdown, maybe. I don't think any team only had 3. No, the Bengals only scored 3. So they're the only team not score a single point. Got shut out. Shouldn't get shut out in the NFL. It's embarrassing if you're a Giants fan. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. And in a surprising game, despite the odds, Jets win 22 to the Bills 16 points. The Jets won the football game. That's a fact. Another fact is that they just lost the season. They went from a division title competitor, Super Bowl contender, to a team is lucky if they can win 8 games. Zach Wilson, I hope he was going to be good, but he's just not that guy. Aaron Rodgers, he was everything you wanted him to be. He's the guy that could take control of the offense and lead you to the promised land. A really talented Jets team, and now Zach Wilson, which I think they like Zach Wilson to an extent, but I just don't think they want him to be the guy that they have to rely on. And I almost feel bad for the Jets fans. They are they might be the most cursed fan base in all of football. I'm starting to believe that. I thought it was the Browns for a while. And I think, you know what? I think I'll keep the Browns above them just because the Browns did lose their football team for a matter of years. But boy, you have to feel bad for the Jets. But you know what? They got the win. Hopefully, Zach Wilson can be the guy that can they can at least win you enough games to get to the playoffs. I hope he is. I really hope he is. He was given a really short leash the past few years, and hopefully he can figure it out. But yeah, that's enough for me from across the sports world. We'll have more episodes next week. Yeah, the recording schedule's tight, especially at the end of the week. Some personal stuff going on. Also, I'll be in South Bend, so I won't be able to record then. Also, Friday is reserved for high school football, as you know, here at Keon Sports. We don't just go out and write the articles, but I broadcast them with Cole McDaniel and Brandon Soder. So make sure to follow that if yeah, video content's your thing. The Keon Sports YouTube page is the home really for it's college football, for professional football, for high school football. Where were you? We are where you want to be here at Keon Sports when it comes to all of your visual football content at all levels. So make sure to follow along. Yeah, and make sure to watch Talking Maction in Money in the Mac, which is on the Talking Maction channel. All new episodes out. If you're watching this, might as well go click on those. Will be posted on the same YouTube channel. Also, if you want the audio only versions, Across the Sports World with Dominic Clary is on Spotify and almost anywhere you get your podcasts. But if you can't find it, just come back here to YouTube, and Talking Maction as well will be on Spotify in most podcast listening platforms. So thanks for listening. We'll be back with you same bat time, same bat channel next week.